Okay, welcome to Join News Interactive. You can join the conversation on our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter on Join News on TV and on GoTV and as well as DSTV. Moving on to the stories that we have for you today, it can be considered as a betrayal against the Constitution, against her country too. She was considered during the Obama administration and confirmed in 2015. Refusing to defend Donald Trump's immigration decisions, meaning refusing to defend the Constitution of the United States. President Donald Trump fired acting Attorney General Sally Yates Monday night for, in quotes, refusing to enforce a legal order designed to protect the citizens of the United States. The White House said in a press statement. Former President Barack Obama criticized President Donald Trump's executive order curbing immigration in a statement on Monday, backing protesters who have taken to the nation's airport to express their displeasure with Trump's action on Friday. This is first time Obama, who ceded power to Trump 10 days ago, has criticized the current president, breaking with an unwritten rule that former presidents refrain from criticizing the current White House occupants. Iran, which is part of the country that has been banned, said Trump's immigration order is insulting and a gift to extremists. The Foreign Affairs Ministry had said Iraq is also a country that has been banned. It says the Foreign Ministry expressed its regret and astonishment over the ban, saying it was unfortunate. The decision had been made despite the two nations achieving victories in their joint fight against ISIS. Sudan is another country, and from Sudan, they are saying that Sudanese citizens living in the United States are known for their good reputation, respect for the American laws, and their lack of involvement in radical and criminal acts. That's from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. In Yemen, they are also saying the ban is not justified and supports the terrorists and sows divisions among people. Yemen also has its Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Abdel Malik saying Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has also been talking about describing the ban as divisive and wrong, while London Mayor Sadiq Khan said the move was shameful and cruel. France Foreign Minister Jean has also been saying that welcoming refugees was a duty of solidarity and tourism doesn't have a nationality. Discrimination is not an answer, he also said. On Twitter, Germany also has been saying the necessary and decisive fight against terrorism in no way justifies a general suspicion against people of certain beliefs, in this case, people of Muslim faith or from a certain origin. So the conversation has been going on. A lot of countries have been throwing in their bets and views about what President Donald Trump's decision on immigration has been. A lot of people are stranded in the airports of the United States. Other people are claiming that their dreams to be in the United States, to change their lives, have been shattered by this decision that has been taken by Donald Trump. What is happening now in the US is that the acting Attorney General refused to adhere to the directions or the directives from Donald Trump on his ban against some 7 Islamic states, and this thing has been going on for a couple of time now. We have put a post on Facebook asking your views about what you think about Donald Trump's decision on banning these 7 Islamic states from entering the United States for 90 days. We have the general who says it's good all these are happening. I even hope Trump should add the whole of Africa on the ban list. That will tell we Africans to mind our own and build our own. We have Big Ben who says Trump is mentally unhealthy. The earlier the authorities get to know he is unfit to govern, the better before he puts the US in jeopardy. And we have Raymond who says comparing Mugabe with Trump is an insult to Mugabe. This Trump is pure evil. Hitler, he ends. We have Wisdom Riskade who says, but the man is going insane. How can he sack the attorney who is there before he came into power? This man would bring conflict in their country. We have Enes Jamal Salom who says, to hell with political correctness, Trump is God sent. And we have Sandra Sintim who says, this man will destroy America. Which, America, why did they vote for a man like Trump as a leader? We have Apana Charles who says this man is such disciplinary, so quick to make decisions. We have Francis Mensah who says this man will destroy America with his harsh decisions. I blame those who voted him to power. And we have Napoleon Cabote, who said just like that, and that's the Constitution grants direct dismissal with no explanation. And we have Prince Nuruddin Bawumia, who says, where does the power lies? That's the question. And then we have Nantoma, who says, from Boko, Trump has spoken, and that's final. And we have Peter Paradise, who says, yes, God work for Mr. John Trump, J. Trump. God bless you, great man. And we have Peter Paradise again saying, thanks, Mr. Trump. God bless. Daniel says, Trump is just like Mugabe. He is never serious. And we have Amadou, who says, this man, eh? So yeah, these are some of the comments on social media. You can also send in your comments, regarding this particular story. You are still watching Joy News Interactive. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have more for you. Let's talk football. Razak gained his first cap for Ghana on 14th August 2013, appearing in a 2-2 friendly draw in Turkey. He was part of the squad that appeared in the 2015 African Cup of Nations, being first choice as the nation reached the final in the decisive match against the Ivory Coast. He missed his penalty shootout attempt in an eventual 8-9 loss. On Monday, he came under public scrutiny for comments he made about Ghanaians. Using the F word in an attempt to get his message across, Razak expressed his disgust against the behavior of some Ghanaians. After several public utterances on social media, Razak issued an apology for his unprofessional conduct. Let's see how you are reacting to his insults on social media. And we have Samuel Mensah, who says, it shows his level of maturity. How can you place Juju in the post in the full glare of the camera when gathered to pray at the first half of the game with Dr. Congo? He joined them holding that thing. He's making reference to the Spider-Man. And I also continues to say, I felt very ashamed as a Ghanaian. And we have Kikeli, who says, this shouldn't have been made to spend a second with the team the very day he said those silly comments. If not bribing and Juju. Okay, your message is not clear, Kekeli. We will come back and read it. We have Ayezoy Emmanuel, who says, any other country will sack this person from their camp. Long time ago, it's only in Ghana that a bench warmer in a Division 2 league will be your first choice keeper. You have Michael, who says, see what the witches in your village have done to your destiny. And we have Lucas, who says, some people forget where they are coming from. Let the sleeping dogs lie. And we have Samuel Mensah, who says, what is that juju? What is that juju you place behind your goalpost anytime there is a match? The cameras show it, and he is proud of that. That is an embarrassment to the team and the nation. And we have Mali, who says, only in Ghana that. Okay, some of the comments are not very clean. And we have Anan, who says, did he only insult? Thought he praised the positive minds. So these are some of the comments on social media. So you can also join us, sending your messages. We're going to read them as the show goes on, and then the conversation still continues on social media. A lot of things have been going on the last the last 24 hours when Brahma actually issued that insult, and then the apology that he had put out. But let's read a couple more comments on social media, what people are saying. Archie Paul says, Massa, you don't need to apologize at all. Ghanaians are too cynical and quick to attack others. Ghanaians would miss no opportunity to criticize others but for themselves. No wrong is seen. Hashtag Beja on any. Okay. And we have Richard Abdul Kora, who says, why do we think we can insult him but he can't respond? In this country, we wish we insult people and their family anyhow. He doesn't need to apologize, because when people who insulted him on radio and television have not apologized to him yet. And we have Sean, who says, make that Alo keeper leave the Ghana team now. We are paying you. You insult us. Okay. We have Isaiah Alexander, who says, if you are to retaliate to our critics' claims, I guess the world would be a chaotic one. It's good to know he's rendered an apology and hope his emotions doesn't get the better part of him in the future. Nana Oji says, what was wrong with him when he made those unpleasant comments? He should take emotions out. Better luck. And we have JPH Ta. Okay, then says, apology or no apology, he has said what is on his mind. Ghanaians are watching. And we have Austin Kobe Ojam Evans, who says he is a human being and anybody will react if you insult his mother. Okay, so please, Ghanaians should allow him. And we have Anane coming back to say he's human. Some people insult instead of criticizing. He did not insult all. He praised the positives. And we have Mohammed, who says the question is that can he insult the fans of his club team if they criticize him like how he insulted the whole nation? And then we have Sanam, who says he should learn to separate emotions from football playing. And we have Nitaki Mark, who says apology not accepted. And then Edward Oware says, oh, sir. And then we have Uban, who says, who cares? And then Jaden James LeBron says, we need to change the goalkeeper. Julius Fisher says, who cares? Gabriel says, I can't think far. And we have Abbas Mohammed, who says, that's cool. So you can still send in your conversations or your messages to all the posts we've put on Facebook and also on Twitter. We're going to read all your comments when we move ahead with our stories on today's show. Let's go for a quick break. Today, a video of the day comes your way now.
The last sitting of Parliament insisted on issuing a statement against a lot of opposition from members of the House. Now, in that statement, he said that whether anyone liked it or not, the majority in the next Parliament, which is this Parliament, was going to introduce a motion to set up a Justice and Peace Commission to probe or inquire into June 4 and 31st December. There was an uproar from both sides of the House, and you were shown clearly walking out of the House, apparently in opposition and in disgust to what he had said.
This is a case of a genuine coincidence. This is a clear case of coincidence.
I want to be clear in my mind whether you were opposed to the timing of what he was saying, or you were opposed to the content or the idea of setting up such a commission, and what is your own opinion on that?
I would prefer to answer the latter. I left the chamber when the discussion was on, and I think that insofar as we all do that, as you know perfectly well, I don't think that any particular significance should be placed on the times I get up and leave the chamber and come back. But my own view is that at some stage or another, we're going to have to come to grips with that whole era and its consequences. We want to come to grips with it in a way whereby the peace, the stability, the progress of our country is not jeopardized. We're required in this country, like in many other countries in the world, to make a decision as to how we deal with our past. By and large, the nation is ready to say that what has happened in the past, let bygones be bygones. But there's still the situation involving the victims. People whose sufferings in one way or another cannot be so easily alleviated just by words. That a mechanism, some kind of mechanism, was already in place when you were in office. The Attorney General, for instance, I know, was reviewing the whole situation of the restoration of people's assets and how all of that could be arranged. What I believe that the minority leader was putting on the table, which is the I believe, for us, the majority view in the country, is that let us have some kind of mechanism working not with discretion. Our objection to the way that the Attorney General was handling this matter was that there was a slightly discretionary element. He would choose which people to deal with it. But let us have a mechanism which would deal with these matters in a reasonably objective and impartial way. And the only way that you could do it was to establish some sort of body that would deal with it. I am not sure in my own mind. It's a matter that we'll have to make a decision about soon, whether there's in fact any need for any particular body, because there are institutions in place, like the Shrine, which can in fact perform these functions for those who believe that they're entitled to some sort of restitution or compensation or whatever for what has happened. And my preference, frankly, and that is going to be the attitude which dominates my tenure of office is that wherever there are already existing institutions that can deal with the problems that you come up by, let those institutions be strengthened, let those institutions deal with it, so that we can have some development of institutions in our country in an orderly and organized way. Every time we are at every stage, we're having to set up ad hoc special bodies to deal with particular problems. I myself do not think that that is a satisfactory way that we can develop the state structures of our country. I think that to the extent that the charter of the shrine would permit them to deal with this area, my advice would be people who have problems, let them go to shrine and let shrine deal with it, rather than going around the whole dramatic thing of the so-called truth and every country has its own peculiar circumstances. The South Africans did not have a shrine in place when they established the Truth and National Reconciliation Commission. I believe the Nigerians also didn't have such a body as ours in place when they decided to follow that example. We have a body that can, given the necessary institutional support.
So that was a vetting in 2001 when Nana Akufo-Addo was being vetted by John Dramani Mahama for the position as Minister Designate for Foreign Affairs. Now, the interesting thing with this video is our next story that is easily connected. You remember before President Mahama handed over to President Nana Akufo-Addo, Mahama increased the amount of money that was supposed to be paid to national service personnel. Interestingly, national service persons are threatening to demonstrate against President Akufo-Addo if the government fails to pay the 559 Ghana cedis service allowance put in place by the Mahama-led administration. This has generated a lot of conversation on Facebook. I'm going to read a couple of the comments to you. We have Sir Hamid, who says, go to Mahama and claim your salary. Even civil servants who are in the field got 12.5% increment, and you national service personnel who are yet to be fully employed are fighting for 60% increase. For what? Be realistic. And we have Michael Ebo Otu says, greedy is when you are not beneficial. You want to restore the trainee allowance, but just because of votes. Anyway, even their manifesto was copied from Nigeria. Oh, really? Okay. This is just the beginning of failure. We have Richard Kwame Kra, who says, let's do away with hypocrisy for once. Who rejected the irrational, in quotes, amount that members of parliament are receiving, who kicked against the new increments they have received. How much is 59 Ghana cedis compared to the extravagant and economy destructive allowances received by our MPs? There's a long essay that comes after what I've read, but I'm going to move on and read Nana Akwesi Eje, who says, a dad and needless demonstration it will be. You people are literate, so reason within lines to know Ghanaians were unhappy with the increment. Those anthropoids leading should advise themselves, because the increment was done in bad faith by their father, John Dramani Mahama, the Ghana. And you have counseling now. Okay, sorry. Naki Fixon, who says, as youths, you have to read wide and listen to national agenda to know what's going on. The NPP has not made any budget yet till March. We are still using Mr. Mohammed's old budget. Thank you. We have Insoma Abuaji, who says, oh, really? If Nana should agree to this 60%, I'm sure we will see most labor unions demand an increase too. Both sides shouted, both sides should meet and agree on something reasonable. 60% would spark lots of unrest. And we have Kwabena J. Nyame, who says, Ghanaians, why? Even the so-called developed world will not increase salaries by 20% impo, where we were being, it's because the former press lost. That's why he did that. Let's open our eyes, please. Bointy Benjamin says, why didn't Mahama increase it and pay them when he was in power? And he continues to say, Ghana is broke in the current government. Ghana is broke, and the current government hasn't come out with a budget, and not to talk about factoring Mahama's poor decision into it. So we have Mustafa, who says, help me answer these two questions. One, did the announcer of the increment include it's the budget he presented to Parliament last year? And there's a second question, but we can't read it, but we're going to read Paul Baden, who says we have been we have been, okay, it's not very clear. Paul, you have to write your message again. We have David Frimpong who says, they should wake up to the reality of our lives and that of our country. Why should educated elites like this group go to the street over frivolous thing like this? And we have Paul Bading. Okay, I get your message. So we have been AIDS before, so shut up. If you are wise, you would know the NDC are not. Okay, so these are some of the comments that are on social media. And people are still talking about Brima, you're talking about the NSS allowance. So that's how we end today's show. My name is Victor Brache. Stay with us for the other programs that's ahead of this show.